Hello students, welcome to Ekam IAS Academy. As part of our Quick Bite series, today we are going to discuss about India's second overseas port located in the current country of Myanmar. So this is going to be the second overseas port that India has developed in the recent past. So what is the first overseas port that India has developed is Chabahar port, and that was in Iran and that was already operational. Now we have developed another overseas port in Myanmar, that is with the name Sittwe port. This is a port as part of Kaladan multimodal project. So what are the issues India is facing? Why India wants to develop this port? In what are the benefits that the port and the development will intend to India? All these things we'll discuss in the video in a quick way. You can see here, this is the part of Kaladan multimodal transport project. So the name itself, you can see Kaladan. Kaladan is a river. Okay. So this is a river in Myanmar, and multimodal project. Multimodal means it involves different ways like roadway, shipways, and railways. Like this, multi modes are used here. So it is a transport corridor. So first thing you have to keep in mind is, so here we have Calcutta. So again, in case if you wanted to go from Calcutta, West Bengal to other parts of Northeast India, so we have here a small neck, or you can say narrow stretch corridor, which is considered as Chicken Neck corridor or Siliguri corridor. So this is a very narrow corridor, and if you have to travel by road, it takes a lot of time. So, and northeastern states doesn't have any access to the ocean or sea. So because of which we wanted to take the help of Myanmar. So by connecting Kolkata to Sittwe port, this is a Sittwe port in Myanmar, through which we are trying to have port access. So sea route of 539 kilometers. From there, we wanted to ensure by road till here, by road, and from here it is through railways. So Aizawl. So what is the capital state? Aizawl is the capital of which particular state in India? Try to put your answer in the comment section. So from where we are going to have better enhanced connectivity to the Northeast. So this is the intention of this project. But as part of this project, India is already developed this particular Sittwe port. So it has started this project in around 2008, and it took 15 years to complete this project, and it was operational since last year itself. In this context, we'll be looking what is this Sittwe port and why India was ambitious in developing this port. Okay, so you can see this is a port which we are going to develop, and then you see here why means this is the second overseas port which we have developed in the first port in Myanmar. So which organization has developed this is very important. India Ports Global Limited. Okay, so this is the organization under Ministry of Shipping and Waterways, which is 100% owned by Government of India. So this organization has developed this Sittwe port from 2008 to 2023. Okay, so this is completely operated, developed and owned by India Ports Global, which is a government owned company, you can say. Then what is India's first overseas port? It is Chabahar port located in Iran, and you have to know the location. It is the port is open to Gulf of Oman. Okay, so this is the main thing you have to keep in mind. Then what about Sittwe port? As I told you, Sittwe is the deep sea port located in the Rakhine state. Whenever you hear about Rakhine state, you will come across one major refugee group, that is Rohingyas. Rohingyas, or the ethnic Muslim community or Islamic community who were persecuted from the Rakhine state itself. So these people, okay, so from the Rakhine state only we are developing this Sittwe port. The most important thing is this is part of the Kaladan multimodal project located on the Kaladan river only, and this is a deep sea port, and you have to keep in mind this is part of the Kaladan multimodal project, which is one of the bilateral initiative between India and Myanmar. So when we are discussing about what are the other initiatives between India and Myanmar means, for example, if you see Myanmar, which is anciently called as Burma, is very important for India because to enhance its connectivity to the Northeast, we can take the help of Myanmar, because as part of Look East policy, now we are making it Act East policy. So in case if you want to engage more with Southeast Asian countries, or even if you wanted to enhance your developmental assistance to Northeast also, it is very much important to enhance our relations with Myanmar. But what is going actually in Myanmar is very interesting, because Myanmar is currently under junta rule. So Myanmar, we have junta on the other side, and Rakhine rebels are also protesting against the junta rule. So because these people were persecuted by the military, that is junta of Myanmar. So there is no stability and there is no peace in this particular region. So it is very much important for India to have regional peace and stability, to have good prospects from this particular project. So second thing you have to keep in mind is we also have another project called India Myanmar Thailand Trilateral Highway. This is a trilateral bilateral highway between three countries, road connectivity. This is also one developmental project we have with Myanmar. Then we have is Kaladan multimodal project, and you have to keep in mind what are the organizations in which India and Myanmar are part of. So you have to keep in mind India is part of South Asia and Myanmar is part of Southeast Asia. So we have one organization called BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Multi-Sectoral Economic Partnership Agreement or Cooperation we have. So in this organization, we consider Myanmar as a bridge between South Asia and Southeast Asia to enhance our relations with Asian countries, in which Myanmar is also one member. We can have better relations with Myanmar. In this context, you should know these things. And in the recent times, if you have remembered, we are also trying to end the free movement regime with Myanmar, because Myanmar free movement regime will allow the people from both sides to enter the other countries even without visas, because normally what the demarcation that happened during the British between India and Myanmar, that was not done on a rational basis. Okay, there was whatever the Myanmar boundary that was drawn with India, that doesn't have any scientific backing or rational. That is why we have given some permits to the other side of the people, so they can easily enter India as well as Myanmar, so that they will not lose their cultural exchange. That is the objective of free movement regime. But what happened, why we have taken the decision to end this recently? Because now taking the free movement regime to an advantage, insurgent groups or the drug traffickers and all these persons, they're using this free movement regime and they're increasing these type of illegal activities. So to curb these things, we have ended free movement regime with Myanmar. Then second thing you have to keep in mind is Myanmar is also part of Golden Crescent. You know, Golden Crescent is an area where we have illicit drugs that are being supplied to other countries. Like we have the countries like Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, these are all considered as Golden Crescent. Okay, the appearance will be like crescent on the map, so that is why we name this. So then what is the importance of this port? It will enhance the maritime trade, so you can have better relations. When as soon as we have opened this port in 2023, India has sent 1,000 metric tons of cement. 1,000 metric tons of cement from Kolkata to Sitwe. In this way, we can enhance our maritime trade routes. Then it can also become a gateway for regional and international commerce also. And then also we can have accommodate more deep vessels, because large vessels can be accommodated easily as it is deep sea port. These are the advantages of this port. Then what is the strategic importance? It is an alternative for the global goods transport you can use. Another way, enhances the India's maritime connectivity with other countries. At the same time, we can counter Chinese aggressiveness, because you know China is also interested in isolating India by developing string of pearls. So in this way, we can counter China. So these are the advantages which India can leverage over this using this port. So what is the previous question I have given in the video is with respect to AUKUS alliance. So first one, alliance is directly aimed to counter offensive the maneuvers of China in the Indo-Pacific. This is correct. This is not correct, because it is not directly there. Okay, initially it was started as only a security, it was not a security alliance, but just to supply the nuclear submarines to Australia, it was started. Later it turned to be a military alliance, so it is not directly aiming. Then under the alliance, Australia will acquire nuclear powered submarines. Yes, 8 nuclear submarines are going to be supplied to Australia by US and UK. This is correct. Then it has a diplomatic grouping involving of Australia, UK and US. This is not a diplomatic grouping, so this is also incorrect. As they have asked, incorrect statements 1 and 3. This is incorrect. Then what is the question for today? Consider the following statements regarding Kaladan multimodal project. It would link India and Myanmar via Bay of Bengal. It is being constructed by India under the Grant in Aid scheme. Which of the statements given above are correct? Try to put your answer in the comment section. As we have reached the end of the video, today we have discussed about second India's overseas port that is located in Myanmar with the name Sitwe port. So what is so specific about this port, how it is strategically important for India, and what is the first India's overseas port also we have seen in the video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.